Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. JNTUK final year ECE, subject satellite communication, lecture number 29. 1/6/2021. Design for specified carrier to noise ratio, Department of ECE, Chebrolu Engineering College. Welcome to the students for today online session. So in previous discussion, we are familiar about how to configure these specified links towards C by N. So from that class, so these are the observation points we got from the previous lecture. So from the previous lecture, we got carrier to noise ratio, generally calculated from noise budget table or power budget table. Generally, these values are be put in decibel format. So by estimating all this CNR, here we got so if the CNR values are equal, the final conclusion, whatever we got from here, that the CNR is 3 dB lower than either of the value. What is here either of the value means? For each step of channel to noise ratio, the channel to noise ratio are equal on both sides of transponders, then our conclusion made here. So channel to noise ratio is 3 dB lower than either of the value. Clear? And second observation, second rule for estimating CNR, if one CNR value is 10 dB smaller than other value, what is the meaning for here other value? Nothing but not present value. If you have the past value, treat that value as reference. So if one CNR value is 10 dB smaller than other value, so what is our conclusion made from this CNR is nothing but 0.4 dB lower than whatever the smallest value of the CNR we got in power budget table or noise budget table. So treat as that value as final for CNR, which is 0.4 dB. And the third rule followed here, if CNR value is 20 dB or greater than other CNR value, so the overall CNR value is equals to smaller of the two CNR values within the accuracy of decibel calculations. So these are the general CNR thumb rules they made for satellite communication. So rule number 1, if both CNR are equal, CNR output reading equals to 3 dB lower. Rule 2, if one CNR value is 10 decibels smaller than other, treat the CNR output equal to 0.4 dB lower than smallest value. Third rule, if one CNR value is 20 dB or greater than other, so the CNR equals to smaller of the two CNR values with an accuracy decibel of plus or minus 0.1 dB tolerance. So these are the important rules for estimating the CNR output from two individual CNR values. So it is very important for short answer part A purpose. So here I made some one problem. So the statement equals to thermal noise in an earth station. So it is the question number 1. So thermal noise in earth station receiver results CNR ratio, that is 20 dB. So a signal is received from a bent pipe transponder which is equals to 20 dB. So this is the data. So what is the value of overall CNR? What is the value of overall CNR at the earth station? So how to calculate the overall CNR from our previous theory? 1 divided by 1 by CNR and 1 by CNR. So already they mentioned CNR up 20 dB and CNR down 20 dB. So convert this 20 dB in dBW. So in numeric we got 0.01. So 1 divided by 0.01 plus 0.01. So numeric 50. So CNR output in decibels format we got 17 dB. Second bit, if the transponder introduce intermodulation products. So that is if the transponder introduce IMP with a carrier to interference ratio 24 dB. So what is the overall CNR at the receiver at the station? So if the transponder introduce IM with carrier to interference C by 4 24. So first convert C by 4 value C by I 24 dB. So in numeric, so in our calculators we got 250. So just like what is the overall, what is the question is what is the overall CNR? So here overall CNR calculated, here overall CNR calculated by CNR out equals to 1 divided by 0 0.01, 0 0.01, 0 0.004. So it is the final 41.7 in numeric format. So convert it into decibel, so 16.2 dB. CNR output equals to 1 by 0.01 plus 0.01 plus 0.004. So that equals to 41.7 or 16 dB. So this is the one type of the model format how to calculate the CNR output. So many times asked in previous semester exams. So take snapshot. So go to the next. So in this discussion, so up to now, so design for specified C by N. Our major topic name design for specified C by N. So under that, we completed combining the C by N. So how to combine this C by N output. Now we move on to next another title, another small topic. So that equals to here overall, see the title, overall CNR output with uplink and downlink attenuation. So what is the performance? What is the C by N behavior with these two links, that is uplink and downlink, and further that shows the effect in the attenuation. So most of the satellite links are designed with this link margins to allow the attenuation that may occur in the link or increase the noise power caused by the satellite. So this is the main objective. So satellite link designs involving some knowledge regarding these link margins. Suppose if these link margins are used to accept the attenuation, so therefore we made a concentration on noise power, and also this power is noise power. The behavior of the noise power can be explained by the task called interference. So by using this interference, so we have to estimate the noise power which is available in the noise link margins. But in practically, so the interference is often treated as tough. It may be white noise, regardless of whether the interference signal is actually has uniform power ST, so uniform PST or Gaussian statistics. So the interference may be available. Interference may be uh, available all these prescribed formats. So when the interference has known characteristics, when the interference has known characteristics such as depolarized co-channel or coherent jamming signal. So these are the main two tasks performed in the satellite link formation as we explained in previous sessions. So sometimes they require to cancel the techniques which can be used to control the interference. And also this interference has noise in the jamming signal cannot be cancelled. Why? Because the reason is the effect of change in the uplink CNR has different impact on overall CNR output depending upon whatever be the operating modes, whatever be the gain value, whatever be the gain values for the uh, transponders. Clear? So that's why most of the satellites, so most of the satellites, they will allow these configurations such that the effect of change in the uplink CNR and also this effect, that is a noise, or be the noise effect, that should have the impact on C by N. What is the C by N? Depending upon operating modes and corresponding rules, etc. So out of them, operating mode and gain of the transponder, three different transponder types are here we called three models which are be indicated by CNR link design. So on screen you are watching whatever the modes that are existing or operating. So let us briefly tell. So what is that modes? So number one is linear transponder. So the operating mode one that equal to here linear transponder. So what is the linear transponder? When output power equals to summation of power delivered by the satellite receiving antenna to input of the transponder and linear gain of the transponder. That is called here linear transponder. That is called here linear transponder. So the linear transponder is nothing but summation of input power delivered by the satellite receiving antenna plus gain of the transponder. So final results are dBW. And second operating mode equals to second operating mode here non-linear transponder. Non-linear transponder. So what is the non-linear transponder? So the non-linear transponder equals to summation of input power delivered by the satellite receiving antenna to input of the transponder, first component, and the second component gain of the transponder, and the third component variation of the gain on input that shows the accounts for the loss of gain. So here I mentioned the non-linear transponder. How we can categorize this so how we can categorize this non-linear transponder. The third one is regenerative transponder. So what is the meaning for regenerative? When output equals to constant power reading, then that transponder mode operation or operating mode of the transponder is simply called as regenerative transponder. Regenerative transponder. So likewise, we are able to categorize or we are able to define the modes of the transponders. So when these modes are designed, whatever the parameter delta Z is depend upon input power and accounts for the loss of gain. And also that should be caused by nonlinear saturation characteristics of the transponder and which is driven hard to obtain closest to the maximum output power. So in this way, we regarding this operating modes. Another observation taken for this overall CNR with uplink and downlink attenuation is here we termed as saturated output power. So in short answer, sometimes they may ask what is the saturated output power, maximum output power from the transponder. If the transponder is able to give some 10 dBW watt, so that transponder statistically known as saturated output power. Generally, this saturated output power is nominal transponder power output rating that is usually quoted. So when this saturated power output is drawn, so that saturated output power may be compensatively calculated from the output power of the given transponder. And also, if the transponder output input characteristics are highly in nonlinear, so when they operated at this particular output power level, so the corresponding transponder operation that should be closest to the saturation power. So sometimes in the practical considerations, this transponders, whatever this uplink and downlink transponders are modifiedly or rated by using the ISI or changing the results of the corresponding uh, maximum power. That's why in regular satellite communication, the FDMA operation results in the generation of ISM by done just by simply multiplying the individual signal whatever be the presenting in the particular channel. So in this way, a very good back off may also be obtained due to the reason. So we are simply noted due to the reason we are simply noted the output back off period. Why? Because majority of the transponders available in this uplink and downlink attenuations are be done by output back off period. So this output back off period has some characteristic graph. Generally, the behavior of the graph is looking like be a linear graph. So why? Because an exact amount of output back off is required in any given applications. So that is depend upon. So that is depend upon the specific characteristics of the transponder. So there are various lot of characteristics curves are available. So therefore those curves are available depending upon the exact phenomena whatever be the applicable, that specifications of the given transponders as well as signals of the particular carriers that should be adopted with the particular satellite in the corresponding transmitter. If this overall C by N, which is be calculated in further, there are various typical values of these satellites or be obtained. There are various typical values of output back of approximately 1 dB for a single PSK carrier to 3 dB of FDMA operation. So there are several carrier principles are be generated and corresponding input back of the value might be a 3 dB or 5 dB. So the individual transponders which are be calculated and the individual transponders which are be available for the characteristics waveform. So generally these pack of time periods are regularly monitored by the sophisticated hardware architecture which are be available called onboard processing. So these onboard processing satellites have transponders which are embedded inside the satellite link design. So these transponders that regenerate the uplink signal for a transmission on downlink. So therefore they have constant transmitted power, and this constant transmitted power that should be available on the regenerative circuitry model. So therefore, depending upon bit errors and in the transponders, therefore it is easy to calculate the transponders and the earth station together to give the overall bit error rate which is available in frequently. So this channel to noise ratio, that is carrier to noise ratio, is very much higher to maintain much higher. So overall bitrate error is demonstrated. So now we can come across this uplink and downlink attenuation by the rain. Why? Because noise and attenuation. So noise and attenuation is both are very important. Both are very important for the satellite uplink design. So what is the effect? What is the effect of these uplink and downlink by the rain attenuation? Generally, from the literature, the meaningful rain attenuation affects uplink and downlink directly and differently. So the behavior of the rain attenuation should be varied from uplink to downlink and downlink to uplink according to the fact the rain attenuation is to be treated as dangerous. Generally, the majority of the literature says so the rain attenuation is occurring on either of uplink or downlink. But the majority of studies says that not on both at a time. So at only particular interval of the time, either uplink or downlink can be affected by rain attenuation. So majority of this rain attenuation is usually true for earth station. So well separated, but not if the geographical very points that are transponders are very close, approximately at less than 20 kilometers. So that is the main important observation whatever I made here. And similarly, heavy rain causes or heavy rain occurs with a somewhat random geographic distribution for the less than of 1% overall the time fabricated. So generally, this rain attenuation shows the impact on probability of significant attenuation that can occur both uplink and downlink simultaneously, and that attenuation be treated as very small. So in the following analysis, in the upcoming analysis, these link attenuation effects that will be assumed that one link is attenuated and another operating in the clear air. So that is the main observation done by rain attenuation. So later the clear air attenuation has also be the same effect on this rain attenuation. Therefore this uplink and downlink attenuations can be done by corresponding rain factor. And another important point, another important subtitle here I mentioned uplink and attenuation and CNR up value. So this CNR, So what is the importance of this uplink attenuation and C by N? So nothing but if the, for example, if the transponder receiver has a noise temperature and this noise temperature doesn't change significantly when the rain presenting in the uplink path to the satellite. So then what is the observation? What is the observation we got from this uplink attenuation? Nothing but the satellite receiving antenna beam, whatever always sufficiently wide, therefore larger area of earth surface and local noise temperature variations are being significant phenomena. So therefore vast of the information, therefore vast of the information can be done with the same example. So therefore noise temperature on earth station by GEO satellite varies from a maximum of 270 Kelvin. And present nowadays, this noise system noise temperature for the transponders on GEO satellites in the range from 400 to 500. There is a effectively no increasing in the uplink noise power. So when heavy rain is presenting in the link between the earth station. So perhaps all this type of the major rain attenuation, all this type of the major rain attenuation should be done apart from the CNR up value. So therefore corresponding system noise temperature for the transponders on this GEO satellites are be varied. So therefore while designing these uplink and downlink with respect to satellite communication, more concentrations are required. Why? Because uplink noise power is affected by heavy rain. So therefore, uplink because of the temperature, because of the some satellite footprints. So therefore, careful design is required on this uplink and satellite link design. So this session ends the information up to now. So dear students, so this is the session, whatever up to discussed now, based upon the session objectives are automatically satisfied. How to configure overall C by N with uplink and downlink, and what are the brief transponder modules, and what is the information of uplink and downlink attenuation by the rain. So I think today's session we got knowledge on this prescribed titles. So with the same energy, we will meet tomorrow, continuation from the same lecture. Thankful to everyone. Please subscribe the college channel and give your valuable likes, shares, comments on this video lecture. Please like the video lecture. Thank you for everyone.